Love Tribers, peace. Today, I'm really grateful to be sharing with you my favorite almond milk recipe. Now, over the years, I have learned just a few simple steps that you can do that will make your almond milk epic almond milk, and I'm really excited to share them with you today. So the first thing is just the almonds that you choose. So you want to make sure you're getting raw or organic almonds. Of course, organic whenever possible, but get raw almonds. And also look for raw almonds that have not been pasteurized. If they're just steam pasteurized, those will usually work. But the pasteurization process will actually kind of kill the almonds. It destroys the live enzymes and the live nutrients. So you want to go with unpasteurized or steam pasteurized almonds. These are from Thrive Market. It's a 16-ounce bag, and this recipe I'm using the entire 16-ounce bag. They're non-GMO, of course they're organic, and they're sustainably farmed. So I really am loving these. The second step that you want to do is soak your almonds. Now you may be wondering, why do we soak the almonds? When we soak the almonds, we're sprouting the almonds. We're going to release the enzyme inhibitors that make the almonds difficult to digest. So by releasing the enzyme inhibitors, they'll be more easily digested, but also it makes the full health potential of the almonds more readily available. And almonds are full of health benefits. They're a great source of protein, they're a great source of healthy fat and fiber, and they're a great source of vitamin E. They can actually help lower blood sugar and reduce blood pressure. So they're really healthy. And when you soak them, you need to soak them in pure water. So these are soaking in reverse osmosis water. You just want to avoid any tap water unless you have a great purification system. So the tap water is full of fluoride and chlorine and other contaminants that you don't want to soak your almonds in. And then also make sure it's a glass bowl. So you don't want it soaking in a plastic bowl, because the toxins from the plastic can leach into your almonds. Now when you soak the almonds, you want to soak them for 12 hours. And I'm just going to show you. So after you've soaked them, you'll rinse them in a colander. And I like to remove the skin so you can see how easily the skin just pops off the almond. And it's okay if the almond breaks up. And you can see here in this one, you can see how they're beginning to sprout. So again, when we sprout the almonds, their potential is more readily available. So this could drop on the ground, and if conditions are right, this could grow into an almond tree. And just remember, everything is energy. So whatever we're taking into our body, that's what we're taking in. So we're taking in all those life-giving properties of the almonds just by sprouting them. All right, now and then once you've removed the skin, again, make sure to rinse them really well. So I use a colander. I rinse out the almonds once I've removed the skin, and that'll help to, again, rinse off those enzyme inhibitors. And if you do not want to take the time to remove the skin, that's great. You don't really have to. I just like to remove the skin because it has a little bit of a texture and a little bit of a flavor that I don't want in my almond milk. But because you run the almond milk through a little almond milk bag, and I've got one already started here, you know, if you do leave the skin on there, it'll always move through there a little bit. But I still like to remove the skin. I just think it just makes a little bit of a more beautiful color and a little bit better taste. For my almond milk, I use dates. And just when you're using the dates, you want to make sure to, remove the seed. And also, a lot of them have this little hat, and you want to remove the hat off of that. So just make sure to remove that. And then I've already blended this almond milk here, and it's in the Vitamix. What I do is I use about a cup and a half of water. And then I add to a cup and a half of water, I add about 7 dates that I've removed the pit from and the little hat. And then I add about 1/4 teaspoon of my Himalaya salt, and it don't need much. You know, you just add the salt. The salt helps to bring out that sweet flavor. And by the way, if you don't want to sweeten your milk, you do not have to. If you just prefer it to be, you know, more plain and less sweet, you don't have to use dates. Or you could use maple syrup or agave nectar or maybe a coconut sugar. So you could really sweeten with those things too. I just like to use the dates because they're actually a wonderful source of sweetener because they have so many health properties. For one thing, they have a balance between glucose and fructose, which makes them a really great fuel for high intensity exercise or activity. They're also really high in vitamins A and K, and they're high in minerals. They've got calcium and iron and zinc, and I can't think of the other, but anyway, they are high in the minerals. They're also high in fiber, and they can actually help reduce blood pressure. So I really love dates, so that's what I use. And I mix up about that 1.5 cups of water with my dates, my little bit of Himalaya salt, and I like to add vanilla. And again, you do not have to add the vanilla, but I add about 2 tablespoons of my vanilla flavoring. And I first blend that up before I even add the almonds. So I just have that 1.5 cups of water, and I mix up my dates, and then I add my almonds, and I blend that up until it's more of a creamy mixture. And I have found that if I make a cream first, the milk has a much more creamy texture. So once you blend those together and you have your almond cream, that's great itself. You can actually use that almond cream on top of any kind of a sweet recipe. But then I add until the blender is at its full capacity for more reverse osmosis water. So I add fresh cold water, and I use cold water so that it doesn't get too hot as I blend it. And then you just are gonna blend it until it's thoroughly blended, and you'll have this really creamy milk. And then you're just gonna pour it into your nut milk bag. And you'll see here, I usually have a bowl, or I found that this pitcher, I really love this pitcher, and it just comes right out. And then you can see I've got my beautiful, beautiful milk, my beautiful, beautiful almond milk here. And then after I strain it through the nut milk bag, I store it in a glass jar. So I love to keep it in a glass jar because, again, I don't want to store it in plastic. And I save my juice bars or my juice bottles, and I store it in glass jars like that. I prefer these because they have a smaller lid. It makes it easier to pour. So there you have your epic almond milk recipe. And now this almond milk could be used in other recipes. I'm using this milk for a chia seed pudding recipe next. And then I'm also gonna make a savory salad dressing. So the sweetness from the almond milk is actually gonna be a really beautiful complement to the savory dressing. So, and of course, it's gonna be delicious just by itself. You may even use it over a cereal. So I hope you'll give it a try. Let me know what you think. And until next time, stay grateful, stay joyful, stay playful, keep raising your vibe. Peace.